This is Harry Wood's 27.2B distinction. Training. In training, Ivan Rakitic can work on his fitness levels. In the game, he can become his work rate on the ball is brilliant, but when he's off the ball, he can become a little bit lazy at times compared to Iniesta. So to work on this, he should do some continuous training and even some interval training. By doing continuous, he will be improving his stamina and his endurance. This will make his fitness levels better. He could also do interval training, because if he did short, sharp sprints, he'd become quicker trying to compete for the ball, because obviously the ball is passed between, so the ball may go there and then he could do a short, sharp sprint. So that is why you could also use interval training. As Ivan Rakitic plays for Barcelona, he is a full-time professional footballer. This means he will be on lots of money each week and paid by one of the richest clubs in the world and biggest clubs in the world. This ties in with being able to train full-time. So he'll do a training session Monday, Tuesday, they normally have Wednesday off, and then he'll have Thursday and Friday training, and then a game on a Saturday and a day off on a Sunday. But if he's got a Tuesday game, then he'll obviously have the Monday, then he'll do a little bit of light training on the Monday and have the Wednesday off, and then Thursday, Friday training. But by him being full-time, he's able to work on this. If he was a semi-professional footballer, he'd have a day job to go to, so he won't be able to spend as much time on improving his fitness as he would if he was a professional. However, he's a full-time professional, so this does not occur to him. When Ivan Rakitic works on this in training, this will improve his game massively and performances, because he'll be able to last longer in games, not get substituted off, work harder, put more effort in, score more goals, make more passes forward. And this will contribute to a better performance than before with a bit of training. I will now talk to you about competition. Ivan Rakitic, before he joined Barcelona, played for Sevilla, and last season he won the Europa League with them. This shows us that before moving to Barcelona, he has vast experience in playing in Europe. He also played in the league with them, got lots of assists, scored some goals, and he was one of their strongest players, which is why Barcelona, the second richest club in the world, wanted to sign him, because he brings assists, goals, great team spirit, great attitude to the Barcelona midfield. Furthermore, because he plays for a professional club, they are able to train 4 to 5 times a week and then prepare for their game at the weekend or midweek. This will help them massively going into a big competition. Barcelona at the moment are in the Champions League final, and that is happening in about 5 days' time, I believe. So at the moment they will be training and getting ready to win the Champions League, hopefully. We'll now talk to you about specific coaching and coaches within the football club at Barcelona. Rakitic, as you know, like I've said before, he plays in the centre midfield with Iniesta. They will have an attacking coach and a defensive coach. They may work with both, because most of the time Barcelona like to play out from the defence to the attack, and obviously it goes from defenders to attackers. But many people class midfielders nowadays as sort of a holding defender. So they sit in front of the back four. So they'll do a bit of work with him, and then they'll also work with the attacking coaches, working on going forward and playing either down the wings with Neymar and Messi, getting the ball into Suarez in the middle, or they'll work on going through the middle with Suarez, giving it out to Messi and what's his other one? Neymar. Also, Rakitic may say to the coach, "Can you work on my shooting, please?" So the coach will say, "Yeah, sure. We'll do shooting practice for an hour. I'll put some objects in the goal for you to hit, and this will make your shooting more accurate." England under 21s is a good example for this. They do free kick practicing after training sessions, which I will put a link in for YouTube, which is a great example of that. The coach may also say how he can improve, how he can do things differently, and he'll get a goalkeeper in the goal as well, which will also make it harder. He'll also put plastic mannequins 10 yards, 9.15 metres, as it states in the rules of the game, from where the ball is to the wall. This will also make it harder but more game realistic. So Rakitic, he's not making it too easy. He's putting in that progression of the wall and a goalkeeper. and that is how Rakitic would improve his shooting, and the coaches would help him do that. I will now talk to you about observational analysis. Ivan Rakitic, or before the week of a game, he will look at footage of another player that he will be coming up against. So, for example, if he was playing against Real Madrid, he'd be playing against the likes of Bale, Cristiano Ronaldo, Toni Kroos especially, because he plays in the centre midfield, so that would be a one-on-one with Rakitic there. The job of the coach, the job of the analyst, he will give all the correct analysis back to the players so they can prepare themselves for the forthcoming game, and they can spot weaknesses within the other team so they can exploit that, break lines, make passes in that area, put more pressure on a certain player than a certain other player, because they might have a better way of scoring a goal that way than going that way. Sometimes the coaches will use video analysis. So by this is what I mean is they'll get footage of, say, Real Madrid's last game against Bilbao, and they'll put clips of that on the club database website where all the players can go, and a certain company called Sports Tech use that, which is very handy for the players. They will analyse, give strengths, weaknesses, they will give feedback. They'll also motivate a player when playing against this team, because obviously they've watched him. The analysts have watched the players they're going to play against. So the analysts of the team will encourage the players that they're going to go play against, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is observational analysis. I'll now talk to you about assessment. Players will be assessed on how much they're contributing to the team, and if they're worth having in the team and paying all that money. Because at the end of the day, clubs can save money if a player isn't performing, so they can terminate their contract, which means they either just pay off the rest or get rid of them entirely. This might be the best thing to do, this may not. Many clubs have made that mistake in the past before, and then players have gone on to other clubs and done really well. They are full-time professionals, so they should be able to do quite well in assessments and tests that coaching staff will put them under. Coaches as well, leading up to these assessments that players go under, the player can ask for help. I.e. that might be with fitness, they might be come back from an injury, which is why they may be being assessed. They'll give feedback as well to help them through their time at the club. Because at the end of the day, if the clubs are paying all this money for that player, they're going to want money back, i.e. through results and stuff. That is assessment. I will now talk to you about technical guidance. Ivan Rakitic is a brilliant midfielder. However, he's still got a lot to learn and adapt to his game. There are many aspects of his game that can still be improved. Through technical guidance from coaches, they can help him become a better player by working on certain areas. If he wants to improve his passing, they could do a passing drill. Secondly, if Rakitic has any questions for the coaches, then he can obviously go there, ask them, and then the coaches may be like, okay, we can go work on your tactical awareness. We can make it better by doing this. Also, in technical guidance, the coaches will give analysis to the player so he can work on his technical ability. So this could be passing, shooting, heading. I will now talk to you about nutritional guidance. Ivan Rakitic is a professional football player. He trains 4 to 5 times a week and plays on a Saturday and a Tuesday. That can vary depending on the competition. He will need to put the correct foods in his body to be able to perform to the best of his ability for a world-class club such as Barcelona. There are nutritionists at clubs, and they will help the players. They will give them diet plans. They will give them strict foods and what to eat and what not to eat. Because if they eat the wrong foods, then that may hinder their performance because it may make them tired and fatigued. And also, some foods are not good for, say, the muscles or the brain. I.e., lots of alcohol would be bad for a player before the game. So the nutritionists, as long as that's common sense, they'd also advise not to do that or drink 48 hours prior to a game. Carbohydrates are key for a football player because they provide slow releasing energy. Protein is also key because it provides strong muscle mass. And these are all things that the nutritionist will give to the player, and in this case it would be Ivan Rakitic. I will now talk to you about psychological guidance. In football, psychology plays a massive part to a professional athlete's career. The job of the psychiatrist is to make sure that the player is mentally stable and has a clear mind and knows his goals and what he likes to achieve at the club. Also, their job is to give guidance and support to the player, because the player may be going through tough times off the pitch, so they need to reassure them and make them mentally stable when they're for playing on the pitch. By doing this will hopefully, and the plan is that it will increase performance, so they'll play better if they're happier off the pitch and on the pitch. And that is psychological guidance.